Welcome back to my channel. In today's video we'll be cutting the half of this dress, that's from the waist to the shoulder and neck. Happy New Year, by the way. This is the first video of the new year. Well, I already cut out my front bodice. You can see there's the waist dart and the bust dart on it. So first we're going to measure our shoulder and divide it into two. All we're going to do is mark like so, and then we'll draw a straight line from the mark at the shoulder to the bust. This is for our dart transfer. Next, we'll be measuring 5 inches from the shoulder to the armhole, just 5 inches. And then from the neck at the center front, we're measuring 3 inches. We'll connect the armhole to the center front where we place the mark. Using either a French curve, a flexible curve, or whatever curve you have, you make a curve that starts from the armhole to the 3 inches you measured at the center front. Now, at this point, we are going to remove the excess, and this is to avoid gaping. What I usually do is I remove 1 centimeter on either side of my line. Now from this curve, I removed 1 centimeter and joined it to the shoulder line, which is going to be a dart. If you enjoy any of my videos, please click on the subscribe button and share with your friends. You cut out the yoke like so. You cut it off completely. We're going to keep this aside, and now we're going to work with the remaining of the bodice. We call this one 1, which is very important that you number them so you know what you're doing. Sometimes these pieces get mixed up and you can get lost. Now, from the center front, we measured 1 centimeter in. That is from the center front, we would measure 1 centimeter in. And this is it. And from the bust line, the chest line, we would measure 1 centimeter below to get this point. Yeah. So 1 centimeter from the waist inwards and 1 centimeter from the center front inwards. This is excess that we're going to cut off. Now we're going to cut out the bust dart. Like so. You cut it to the bust point. And then you come back to the shoulder dart that we initially measured and cut it also to the bust point, but not through, which means you're not going to cut through it. You're just going to cut to the bust point and leave, let's say, cut out some meters. You connect it like so. You close up the bust dart and then you open this dart. Now we're now going to create a new bust line because we closed that it has now successfully distorted our lines. So now just place our ruler directly at the bust point, and then we measure out to create a new bust line. Now this is our new bust line. The line above is the chest. The line below the bust line is the under bust, and then we have the waistline. Now we'd also measure 1 centimeter from the side front inwards like so. And then you connect the 1 centimeter at the waist to the one at the armhole. All these are excess that we don't need. Remember, it's a fitted blouse, not really a blouse per se, half cut. We need it to be fitted all through. This is excess. We're going to cut it off actually, including the one at the center front. We'll cut them all off. Now, at the under bust, would measure out 1 centimeter on either side of the bust, the under bust, around the that region. Now, because we removed 1 centimeter from the side and another 1 centimeter from the front, the under bust is going to become tight. Now from the side to where I just took this measurement is 3 centimeter. You know, we have a new side outside. When you cut out that 1 centimeter, we'll have a new side. So from that 1 centimeter, we'll measure 3 centimeter inwards. To give us this, you square it and bring it down. We'll measure 1 centimeter from the bust line down towards the waist. This 1 centimeter will draw a line and connect it to the bust line, the bust point, I mean. Like so. We open up the the waist, the bust that, like so. And just hold it with a mastic tape temporarily, so we'll be able, and then you close the shoulder that as well, so everything will go back to how it was before. Now at this point, you measure from your bust point to your under bust, like so. It is usually 3.5 centimeter inches for my bust size. Now using your compass, you measure, take out the measurement, place the point of your compass at your bust point, and then you draw a circle. Alternatively, you can just use your compass. You open it from the midpoint to the under bust. That's your bust point to your under bust. Whatever you get, that is what you use to draw your circle. This circle is supposed to be a guide. And that is how you know your bust circumference. From your bust point to your under bust. Whatever you have there is what you use to draw your bust circumference. For a bust of that 6 inches, it is 3.5. The easiest way to find that out is to measure from your bust point to your under bust. Now, from this place, that's the armhole, we'll draw a line that connects to the 1 centimeter we initially drew. Sorry, there are lots of lines. You now find the midpoint of that line that you just drew. Measure 1 centimeter above it, so you'd be able to draw a curve. You draw a curve from the armhole to the center front, your new center front. You draw a curve that best suits you. And there's no hard and fast rule as to how to do this. You connect it like so. And that's it. We've created the curve. Measure another 1 centimeter away from that 1 centimeter that we initially had. That's from the center front. You measure 1 centimeter as well. Again. And then you come to the waist and measure another 1 centimeter, like so. And then you connect it with a straight line. You take out the mastic tape at the bust that's and shoulder that's. Now you would close the bust that like you did before, like so. Again, you hold it with a mastic tape. Using your compass, you finish off your circle that you started. You mark 1 centimeter at the top of your circle, like so, and connect it to the bust point. But at that bust point, you measure ½ centimeter from the bust point towards the side. Remember, there was a measurement you took at the under bust. Now you connect your under bust to your bust, ½ centimeter, and then make sure it's curvy around the bust. You connect it like so. Remember, we had 3 centimeter from there, from the side. And that's our 3 centimeter from the side towards the center front. Now, using your free hand, you make a curve that connects from your armhole to the circle, like so. Such that you'll have a U shape instead of a circle. From the armhole, you have a U shape instead of a circle. And from that bust point, you connect from the bust point to the under bust like so. That's the new measurement in which we made. Now we'll cut out the initial 1 centimeter that we measured, which I told you is the excess. Now don't worry that you're cutting off the excess, it will not affect your pattern. Remember, you added ease when you were drafting your pattern. We cut off the one on the side as well, so that we'll be left with a fitted borders. And remove the tip at the bust point, close the bust point, the shoulder dart again, hold it with a mastic tape, and then you cut off this. Now this is to create the opening at the chest. You don't need this. The hole at the chest is what we just created now by removing the top pieces. You close the bust dart again, thereby opening the shoulder dart. Now you cut out to the bust point and through it. You do the same thing here to the new bust. You know, we moved half centimeter away from the bust point to the sides. All this is just so to make the cup tight. Now you bring it together like so. Now from that end, that cycle, measure 1 centimeter. That's from the new bust line. We measure 1 centimeter down towards the waist. You connect it to the bust. That's to the bust point like so. Now we have cut out everything, the pieces. Remember that 1 centimeter we first drew? Yeah, we cut it out. It's excess. This is to make the cup tight. And to give it this round, sharp edge, curvy edge actually. Always label your work. If you check, this one is labeled 3 because 2 is on the side. Now the other 1 centimeter we measured from the bust line to the bust point. We cut it out. And then we curve it out as well like this. Always label your work. Good. So you know we had 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7. Always label your work, I repeat. Now we'll connect them together. Using a tape, we'll measure a tape and put them together. See? Now that is that for that. Now we're back to the yoke. Remember those half centimeter we cut them out to the shoulder, but not through the shoulder. The shoulder is still connected. This is what we cut out. We cut it out through to the shoulder, but not through it. Now using a mastic tape, we'll hold it together. Now if you check where my finger is, you'd notice that the curve there is not smooth. Now to make it smooth, we'll add a piece of paper, fill it in, and make another curve. Now you place it on another paper. You use a mastic tape to hold the paper in place. Now using a curve, you make another curve from the longest part. You curve it and draw it out again. This is to fill in that space that was there. The reason why we removed that dart that was there is just to take off the excess. Now that I've cut it out, there's an inequality in the pattern which has to be filled, and this is how you do it. You use a clear tape and hold it in place. Join it together with the paper, like so. Now you cut it out. And this is it. We have filled in, and now the curve is filled up and sharp. So number 1, 2, and 3 have been put together. That's 4, that's 5.